kind of known as a small champion pool guy, like Rumble, Udyr, the main ones in the old days, but he's expanding. His Ambessa has been pretty good. His Cassante was legendary in that last game. So I'm not as worried about him in best of fives as I would have been a few weeks ago when we were talking about KT.
Yeah, now that you move over to the blue side here for BNK, I was going to say maybe you could snag like an Azir or an Orianna, but it's just going to be permaban the entire game. They're not going to give Azir to Vikla. They're not going to give Orianna or Yone to BDD.
I don't think we're in a game state yet here in Fearless where there's too much engage gone to where the Zeri becomes a free pick. Like we saw that banned on blue side by T1 in the previous game or previous series because they were like, there's just no way to lock this down. You know, Guma doesn't play that too often. Today, the same case is true here. I think not yet in this series, but I think later it will be. Yunara, on the other hand, yeah, that's a problem. They are going to ban that. That one they're not willing to give over. They'll also take away Diablo's Kai'Sa here. So once again, taking that one away. And the Jarvan is also banned. That would have been like the strongest tier jungle pick that's left available.
Yeah, it's also good into stuff like Varus, like Jhin, that we might see from the side of Diablo, but we're going to see Annie first picked going over to Vikla. Has been a favorite of his.
What kind of Galio comp could we potentially see here from KT is my question now, because it almost feels certain we'll see the Galio answer. It's been the most common answer to the Annie in the mid lane. The blind Renekton, though, into the Sylas is not really what I thought we would be seeing in this rotation from KT.
Yeah,
the Sylas is a flex, technically. Technically speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it could be jungle.
Works well with Galio, if
could
it
even
were.
be top, you know? But yeah, it's pretty early, which is why it's a bit confusing for sure.
The Aatrox pick right now is so incredibly strong. And I was wondering if Perfect would be willing to play it in the last game. He wasn't. It is going to be taken here into this Renekton, which is going to be a pretty volatile matchup. It's not like he's playing into a tank where he's just going to auto-win, but he's have a lot of agency here. And I like the matchup for Clear in terms of how these two players play. It will be the Skarner into Sylas. A pretty greedy pick, giving the Sylas the opportunity to steal that one away. And Nico made it through this draft. And instead of being picked in first rotation, it's going to be as the last pick here for KT Rolster before we move into the second phase.
It's probably, you know, BNK, they don't want to select it with the Sylas on the other side, and they just say, well, we kind of overlooked this one.
I mean, now KT,
just give it over.
They have some pretty good ults to steal. A lot of setup with this Nico. We don't know what the AD carry matchup is going to be just yet, but when you have the Nico on your side, you don't care about lane prio. They'll take away the Lulu, which makes a lot of sense. Any sort of range supports that can empower a scaling AD carry, I think you want to remove. Vi, still available here. They will take that one away. Works incredibly well with the Sylas, if that is, again, going mid lane, which we suspect.
Yeah.
Karma, same thing. No range supports here. And now we could see something like Bard Jhin to come out from BNK. Works really well with their draft, but I think also for KT they'd be happy to have a Jhin, so they might just pick it on 4 here if they're allowed to, because they have so much engaged themselves and so much frontline. It's a really tricky call here for BNK, because I think Bard Jhin works well with their comp, but I just don't think they're going to get their hands on both.
Expecting the Ezreal to be picked by Duckdom. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he necessarily needs to play that safe into this comp.
Yeah, I mean, the Annie can get a little bit scary, but besides that, there's not a whole lot. And the Jhin gets picked up really quick, as you mentioned.
And now there's still a possibility that BDD plays something different here that you have to consider as well. Like, he could still go Galio, and they put the Sylas jungle. Like, that's definitely a possibility. We're just going to slam Rel and Misfortune, I suppose. It looks like that's how they're going to round this out. I mean, it's a really strong Circles comp that does a lot of damage, and you can have the Aatrox on a flank and then close the gap, and then Rel presses her buttons, and you win the fight. Like, it's very simple here for BNK, and keep it simple has been a very good call for most of our Rise Group teams, but it's maybe too simple. Now, let's see any flexibility here for Cuz. The answer is yes.
Yes. Tristana, second AD carry. Might be the answer here into the Annie.
I mean, it gives you so much consistent damage, and BNK just don't have that. If you can burst down the Aatrox on a flank too, like the cool thing about this draft for KT into Aatrox, if he's flanking, oftentimes you're like, oh, Aatrox, you can't kill that guy. He's got Sundered Sky, he's going to auto twice and have half his health back with his ult, and then the rest of the team's going to follow up and engage. But if you have the root from Peter, or it's a Renekton that locks him down, and then the Tristana could just jump on him and blow him up quickly, and you kill him first, then Misfortune needs the combo. Like, she needs all the ults and all the setup, and the fight gets scrappy. She's never going to compete with Tristana's damage. And there's also a Jhin, by the way. It's double AD carry, double threat here. Not to mention the fact that you have to play around a stolen Impale. You have to play around a stolen Magnet Storm. Like, the Sylas angle here is just so incredibly strong from KT, and it was face up, and BNK just did not draft around it.
It was very early. Allow them to get the Nico in their comp, and I feel like KT's comp definitely better in this one. Now, if BNK get some kind of, if they get through the lane and they're able to set up fights like they were able to in game one, then sure, their team fighting is going to be excellent with this kind of composition. It's very reliable. And you've got a lot of circles, a lot of follow-up, but they got to get into that position first.
I think it is definitely possible. I think it's very simple here. If KT make a lot of mistakes, they can just run away with the game if they snowball it. But otherwise, I am worried for BNK here in Game 3.
Well, you got Game 3 ready. Let's hop onto the Rift right now.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we go. Game number 3. As with both first games going one apiece, we are technically now in a best of 3. But obviously very different from the best of 3s we're used to in the regular season because we have 20 champions banned from Fearless. So
and now 30 moving forward, the rest of it. Kellen going to go for a bit of a sweep here. I don't think they really want to play against KT's level 1. Not, even though they have the Annie stun at level 1. And it's not going to be anything that eventuates here. We'll head back. Somewhat of a 5-point start here from KT at the end of things. BNK secure their start, and there will be a leash here on the red buff. We'll head into a normal game. This is a interesting matchup. We haven't really seen this one too often, but for BDD, you just want to take trades whenever you can, and like when he has stun like that, you're like, okay, well, he stuns me, but then what? And then I actually just keep autoing him, so BDD knows this, goes in, actually saves his stun, and is just going to try to auto if he can.
He went for the shield first, so he put it up, and he was like, well, this is all I can do is just auto and run. So looks kind of sad for Vikla. But you're right, because if the Tristana gets in range, especially if he doesn't have any ability to stun, it's like so free.
And if he does stun, like BDD just keeps autoing. Has the lethal tempo as well on this Tristana. You have to be very careful. You need a little bit of support in this early game before you're going to be able to do anything. You don't win lane against Nico as pretty much any melee support, and that is going to be the case here for Diablo and Kellen. In this early game, level 2 goes over first to Duckdom and Peter. Nico is kind of broken right now.
Yeah.
I'm wondering when they're going to fix. No stun.
Well, he got it back. Actually, a pretty nice trade. It's obvious that BDD is trying his best to take trades whenever he can, but got to be careful about getting too close to the sun, or to the fire in this case.
Walk through the fire. Remember that opening video?
Yes.
That's a good one. BD has only played the Tristana once, and Duckdom has been one of his worst picks this season. Peter on the Nico, though, we haven't talked about in a while because it doesn't see that much play recently because it's so strong, but he's one of the best, actually, in our league. It's one of his best picks, and it's kind of crazy that he got his hands on it in this draft. And there's just so much setup for the Jhin, and the fallback of that Tristana damage gives this comp a ton of longevity and safety. And like, if your combo hits for BNK, again, it's simple. You you win fight. You press all buttons together, circles go down, you win. But if it doesn't go perfectly, if it doesn't go the way you want, you miss your engage, or BDD buffers something, he gets away and you wasted tools, then it is really hard to win the ensuing fights into what KT have here. Especially because their turn and re-engage with the Nico ult and the stolen ults that Cuz has access to. It's pretty crazy.
We got a Skarner nearby as the engage comes in. Peter in a bit of trouble, takes a turret shot, extremely low, but he is very fast as well, so he's going to get away. They want to force more out of Duckdom. They're going to get his flash. So a nice little lane gank comes in from the side of Raptor. Good engage from Kellen. They were not expecting that.
No, they certainly were not, and it's 3 summoners down on the play. In trade for 2, but Raptor doesn't really lose too much for this, and we'll just go ahead and clear his Krug. So they lose the second Scuttle Crab as a result, as Cuz was able to double Scuttle. As soon as he sees that, knows he can't impact the play, goes up for that topside Scuttle. Peter ends up getting relatively low here, as we're going to see the lane swap to come through. Clear comes over, and it's just going to be Kellen helping him out here for a moment before he'll go join his top laner. It's a pretty close to dangerous spot there for KT, but I don't think because of this lane swap, the fact that Duckdom and Peter don't have sums is going to really be too impactful right now. After on a ward, going to look for the play regardless. The stun sets it up, and Cuz shows up and he says that.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Little fake. The little fake out there. That was pretty cool. You don't see that every day.
Yeah.
Especially considering going in there.
What's it called when you like take your car and drive it around in a circle in the parking lot?
Donuts?
Yeah, donuts.
Yeah.
Raptor did donut there. But watch me do this donut.
It did look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
Yeah. Threatened BDD got him to rocket jump out of there. Ultimately not too much. They are going to lose control of this dragon.
I mean, they see Raptor. Cuz is pretty low, clear. Oh, the flash comes out, and he should be able to get this dragon, but Cuz might be in a world of hurt. He's actually taking the trade decently against Clear, but eventually the rest of the team comes in, and Clear just stabs him with the sword. His first blood given over to the Aatrox.
That's really tricky for Cuz to try to maximize the damage to get into smite range there quickly enough. Then also be able to have his Kingslayer to look for the fight. So is ultimately still taken out there, but gets the secure of the dragon. Well, it's a Chemtech start. Feels like a pretty high value one. And he will actually enjoy the healing from it himself. We'll watch this again. Cuz very low. This is a really confident play from Clear, knowing Raptor also can join at such quick speed. Flashes here, the knockup has smite before Raptor shows up. Then goes for the Kingslayer to try to keep himself alive. What really just allows Peter to escape. I think the flash, pretty necessary there. If he gets hit by a sweet spot, then he just dies and won't get the smite. Looks a little bit funny, but yeah, I think the right call, the safe call in that moment.
It's crazy how BNK, every single time in these games, they are just so possessive of these early objectives. They set up for every single one, or at least they will fight over every single one if KT starts on it. And it made more sense the first couple of games because they had a lot more prio, but even in this game, they're just like, no, we will fight. We've got our Aatrox on the bottom side of the map. We will use that.
I like your usage of the word possessive. They're a little bit dragon clingy.
Yeah.
Don't come anywhere near my dragons. That's my dragon.
KT has done it many a time. I mean, they've got a decent amount of dragons in this series. Remember even the first Ocean Drake in game 1. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's all you have to know.
I think BNK is calling the Infernal Dragon right now, asking him why he's not in the pit.
Yeah.
Where are you? Who are you with?
I've called you 3 times already. Why didn't you answer the phone?
Kellen with a nice angle here.
Yeah, Duckdom kind of in an awkward spot, and that's going to be the end of him. Hide on Bush works out very well, and they'll give this kill over to Diablo, of course, as he picks up 300 gold.
That's a pretty massive play there. Kellen just finds an angle there. A lot of greed from Duckdom. Doesn't have his flashback yet, and that's what they were planning for. And that kill alone is just grub control. The cross map is an attempt onto Vikla, but he is totally fine. And that's a big win. You know, the side laning Tristana would have loved to have some grubs. Gonna be grubless here in game 3.
Yeah. We'll see if they can do the run grubless again, as they did in game number 2. ending game number 1, although they didn't complete that run. Now it'll engage on a Tristana, very difficult, but Kellen always willing to send it if he gets an opportunity.
Yeah, and if BDD messes up the buffer there or isn't ready, then you get a kill. On this play here, Peter is in the area, but unfortunately just too far away. They don't have the numbers with Raptor showing up. He also doesn't hit the root on the Raptor. Wouldn't have mattered, but Duckdom knows he's 100% dead. Just walks forward to see if he can set up a captive audience and clear as many of those minions as he can. He's 20 CS down. You know, he was in the Nico Jin lane, and he's getting massively out-farmed now because he died, and they had the lane swap, and he just hasn't really been able to do what this lane and the 2v2 initially was set out to do. BNK playing this early game pretty well. It's a small lead, but it's all in that MF.
Yeah, the MF has it. You can see that Perfect's been doing a pretty good job of making Clear's life very unhappy once again. The Aatrox picked into the Renekton, and of course, still going to have value even if he does fall behind. He's only 70 gold behind because he did get first blood, so it's not a huge deal. But certainly is nice to see that Perfect is on form and utilizing the Renekton, I would say, as you would expect it to be utilized.
Cuz has
putting on that pressure.
Not been as impactful in ganks as Diablo is possibly in danger here. Peter has flash and heal. Doesn't want to commit, but
so slow.
Yeah, he really is. I was just going to mention, though, that the farm here for Cuz has gotten so many Scuttlecrafts is pretty huge, as we are going to see a TP flank from BDD.
Yeah,
He is 100% dead.
He's just 100% dead. He does have his flash, but he's not even going to use it, as eventually the kill is given over to BDD, as once again, hide on bush. And now the Tristana going to pick up a plate on top of it all.
TP on bush in this case. And
well, it's also Perfect setting up in the bush, you know, just waiting. And the one moment that Clear thought he was safe.
Yeah, goes ahead and uses his Qs here, all 3 of them. Not that it would have saved him, I think, in this case. Has to pop his ultimate. Has flash, but BDD has ult. Doesn't need to use it, by the way, and gets to save it here. Almost felt like there was a moment where there was discussion about who's going to get the kill. Definitely should go to BDD. He picks it up, and BNK first on Dragon here after the reset. Looks like they may be able to even out Drake's, as KT are just a little bit too far behind on the play. So this is a nice little prize. Not sure how this all eventuated outside of KT looking for some recalls there as the Dragon was spawning. The Soul is Hextech again.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty massive as the flash comes in. They want to punish Kellen, and they absolutely will. Another kill given over to the Tristana as the pull comes in, kind of pushing him out of that one. Very confusing. Now Raptor in a lot of trouble, has to flash away. Gets hit by the first shot. It looks like he might just be going down. 4th shot hits him, and Peter says, "That's my kill. Don't you dare steal it away."
Well, a little bit of extra money on that Nico. Raptor picks up his first item after that deck. Saw that there go into his inventory, but Heartsteel, the standard first item here, but he is out-farmed by the Sylas in this game, and this is just a bizarre moment where Kellen is, like, he knows there's a ward there, I'm pretty sure. It was placed on top of him, he's hanging around, gets blown up, and didn't play that safely, and the Raptor just kind of
oh no,
goes in here, looks for the Impale, and then says, look, I think you've been getting a little bit too much attention, Diablo. I think he didn't want to push him into the wall there because it would have pulled him out, so he tried to spin it around, but it didn't work. As Perfect
trade in the top lane. Do they have enough damage? Yes, they do with the Q3 and another support kill. Kellen, I have no idea how he even got that. Did he just auto kill him, or did the Phantom Storm like do enough damage?
Yeah, I'm not actually
Very
100%
strange.
sure. That it's definitely not ideal when you commit that to kill a Renekton, and the kill goes that way. Is overcommit.
Okay. Baited, I suppose. And we're just continuously fighting here. Guess who's back again? It's Raptor. As Duckdom, he is going to flash and barrier. Root comes down though, and Raptor is just going to be outplayed once again. Duckdom will collect the kill this time.
If he didn't have summoners, I think it's a great play. But he barriers first, flashes away, gets the root under turret, and goodbye Skarner. 2 overforces here from Raptor, who only knows one mode. Maybe he should learn the other one in this game as Kellen looks for an engage on the Cuz, but Perfect's here.
Yeah, World Ender. I don't know if it's going to get him out, though. Cuz very fast. The extra movement speed from the World Ender, so he actually does kind of just walk it off.
Yeah, didn't even have to use his rocket belt. Ooh. Tibbers!
Tibbers lived with his little molten shield there at the end. So actually pretty decent value denying that gold from BDD.
Yeah, that's significant. Don't want to get any more money on this already fed Tristana. As the gold lead here over the Annie is quite severe at this point. Does have Merc treads as well, so Nicholas just not really enjoying his life in this side lane. Raptor, I think, can make a huge impact in this game, and I think he needs to. But some of these aggressive plays are disrespecting KT's ability to rotate over, disrespecting Duckdom's summoners in that mid play, and it's costing them big. Like, Duckdom gets a free kill. He was super far behind in this game, now a little bit less so. And again, it's not even a Jhin as your only threat. Like, there's a Tristana here with an insane front line. They have oodles of engage. So game state here really favoring KT at the moment. Diablo is really going to feel great about having this Bloodthirst from BF Sword, though, in the mid lane. Constantly have Prio, and they use it to try to find an angle here. I mean, Kellen is also hanging out. I'm just making noises.
he's just singing the whole game, man. It's not payphone, though. It's whatever Tristana's saying. He's having a good time, I suppose. 2-0 on Tristana. Can't blame him for it. BNK very possessive about this Drake. They're setting up everything around it, or at least trying to.
It's pretty early, too. I mean, only a minute is on the clock here, but it's enough time to where KT can actually reset. Gonna clear that wave in mid. BD hide on bush.
Yep, gonna hide on in there. Svikla just gonna throw his whole combo down, but Raptor was here, and so was the rest of the team. BDD goes in, gets baited by the Annie, and that is going to be the end of him.
And kind of a weird exchange there, but BNK just ready to spring onto BDD as soon as he jumps out of the bush there. They're going to try to trade this for mid-turret, but it's too healthy. There's only a small wave here. Vikla can TPN, gets caught.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at Vikla, and they do get him. The question is, do they get out? The very angry Tibbers and this Aatrox even angrier. Clear, trying to do a lot of damage to Duckdom. Going to change over to Cuz. Now the rest of the team is trying to join in here as BNK, they smell the fight from across the map, and they come on in the Magnet Storm! The circles! The ults on top of them are pretty huge. They don't get any kills, though. Lots of damage, but nothing to show for it. And now BDD able to come on back and help out with the kill.
The damage is too late! Diablo shows up way too late with his ultimate there. They had all the tools. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. You gotta win the fight basically instantly as BNK, otherwise there's just too much follow-up in KT's composition, and BDD was dead until he wasn't. TP's in and makes the play there. Bit of an error in judgment from BNK once again, as this play here from Vikla doesn't have his stun yet, right? Just drops Tibbers down, is desperately trying to get it. BDD still buffers it, flashes away from Raptor's charge, but there's just too much BNK here. It's another kill for Diablo. This play they really heavily committed to, and I was a little bit worried for KT because you have the rotating over of the Skarner, and we know how difficult it is to kill Aatrox, who just targets Cuz for a second. He's like, that heal, thank you very much. It's so incredibly difficult to kill, and they have all these circles, but look who's not here. It's the MF. Still coming over, still on her way, still gonna be here. Okay, there's the Magnet Storm. Killed a clone, got a arm guard, and then BDD shows up and he's like, I'm ready to get resets, I'm ready to pop off, I'm ready to carry.
And now they're going to be able to pick up this first Hextech Drake that comes onto the map. BNK not in position for that one, although Cuz kind of a awkward spot, gets denied at the disengage cone. He does have a BDD though, and having a BDD is the most valuable thing you can have on this map with these two teams.
Duckdom doesn't even need to use his summons to avoid this one this time around. Had both of them back available, is the target of this Skarner again. Like, you can see the thought process of why the Skarner's in this draft with the MF. The MF pushes the Jhin in. You have that wave crashing. Jin's immobile, is not very, like, is very easy to lock down from Skarner, so they keep trying to repeat this play, but it failed the first time. The second time Duckdom walks it off. He's trying it the third time.
All right, well, this time you got the summoner spell, you got the flash, and you can just be happy with that and back away.
The thing is, like, when you have this MF into the Jhin, instead of trying to kill the Jhin, maybe just move on the map and try to find something else could be the better play, as this Jhin is just chilling under turret, and the turret is a problem. If they didn't have a turret there, maybe it works out a little bit better. Maybe they can catch Duckdom. Maybe there's, you know, no rotation over from KT. They could extend the play. just not a whole lot of vulnerable spots on the map outside of trying to get this Jhin. And again, we tried to get this Jhin.
All right, they're going to get the Jhin. They did it, Wolf.
Okay.
And they got a bonus Peter. Okay.
And this time, Victor
Wow.
shows up.
That's huge.
That extra member of Peter going down is also a ton of gold. They have a gold lead now.
Cuz, no way. No way. This is insane. And they have more. They've got Impale. I mean, they didn't use everything in the last fight, and KT trickle in. BNK are just getting so much free stuff.
Yeah, Clear also just pushing inside by himself here. The inner is going to go down. They have the threat on this bottom inner turret now, and BDD is cut off. They should be able to get 2 inners out of this. Just a big mistake from KT is completely punished.
It's crazy.
And I guess if at first you don't succeed, try again. Eventually they get ducked on. Eventually this Jhin pick leads to an explosion of gold. It's a swing of, what, 4,000 gold, I believe, on the play here. BNK taking a full control of the map after this. Tons of money. And we haven't even seen the Misfortune item yet, or the back yet to buy that item. Is Duckdom this time with Peter here. Thinks he can hold his ground because it's Peter, but Peter gets stunned. Can't actually impact the play. He's thinking, oh, okay, surely they won't engage. I've got Pop Blossom.
Oh.
And then Cuz goes in on Tibbers for what? Like, I just don't get it. He has his Zonia purchased.
Tibbers.
And like, if Perfect is here faster, maybe you go in, you go golden, and then the Renekton helps support, but they just gave him another kill, and then the turret and the bottom turret, and KT asleep at the wheel on that one.
That's the roller coaster right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that swing is gigantic. It's like they fell off the apex of the roller coaster. And guess what? Otacana's up now, 20 minutes into the game. So BNK say, well, we could just take this.
I mean, Kellen has Flash Magnet Storm. He's got control of this Tri-Brush. Good luck getting in, KT.
Yeah, it looks like they want to turn. Jhin ult is out. The Rift Herald is out here. They have vision with the Nico clone. Feels like KT are doing a decent job as now the engage from the Rift Herald is coming on in. Gonna get the knockout on 2. And looking for Vikla as well, but now Perfect's just so far away from the fight. The 3-man knockup and the steal does come in from Cuz, but it's still 2 kills to the Aatrox. And maybe a little bit more into the Hexgate is going to get him out. The disengage Hexgate you don't see every day.
Yeah, pretty rare in a situation like this, but it does work. They're trying to get more out of this, though, because they just gave up the Otacon. They want to get additional kills here. As Cuz gets the stolen Impale, it does not really save them in the fight, but it is enough to help them secure the Otacon and get most of those lives saved.
He's got Flash. I just don't know if it matters, as he is going to hit him away. The jump is denied, and BDD is so low. Will he go down to the Rel? Looks like he will. Kellen picks up the kill.
A little bit less mysterious this time on the Kellen kill. There's a little bit more mystery on the positioning there of the Tristana inside, but just didn't expect this big collapse. And BNK, they lose the Otacon, but they just maintain so much map control. This team doesn't like grab onto you and they don't let go. It's like the teeth are sinking in deeper and deeper and deeper into the arm of KT. This is a pretty low value Jhin ultimate. It looks like there's just no way KT can win this fight, right? Like, they just don't have the setup. Kellen is in too good of a position. However, Cuz is able to get in here, and the Pop Blossom from Peter really saves it. They have the root here on to clear, then they group up too much, and then there's a 3-man, allows Cuz to get the secure on the smite, but then they go in deep. Duckdom doesn't have his ultimate anymore, and it's just completely split up. The flanking Renekton isn't going to do anything, and then BDD, guess he didn't have any vision in the jungle looking at it on the second play here, and I think it was just a bit greedy. There's like no map control, there's no turrets outside of that top inner. Like, there's no safety.
Yeah.
If you want to rotate up to save him, you're walking into darkness. There's no vision.
And BNK will send their entire team to go kill one Tristana. That is what they will do. And BDD, it just seems like he hasn't fully adjusted to that, you know? Even the play on the bottom lane where he went all in onto Vikla, with Vikla didn't have his stun. But the entire team of BNK just immediately just rotated down, and they were already there. They were on vision.
Who needs smite when you've got an Aatrox and a Misfortune to take a dragon as well?
Yeah.
Free dragon for BNK as KT were all grouped on the top side of the map, and BNK were aware of it because they have vision control. They back away, take the dragon, and say, thanks.
Thanks very much. Yeah, the Aatrox is a big problem now. You remember in the lane, it was not good. And then, you know what he did? He bought Sundered Sky.
He bought that item.
And after that happened, everything changed. It was like the entire matchup flipped. Perfect didn't have his item.
I think it would actually be more fair to the spectators if they just hid the Aatrox health bar. Just keep it a mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think maybe fans watching might be like, I think he's in danger. I think he might get hurt.
I thought you meant give everybody Sundered Sky, but that's a different discussion. World Ender coming in here. Clear is very much dead, as it just depends on who's going to get the kill. And they're going to try to give this one over to BDD. Eventually, surely, yeah, okay, there you go. 575 gold.
Bit of a caster curse on that one on the Sundered Sky. Didn't have any rotating teammates over to help him. Took a while to die, but that was more about KT giving the kill to BDD than anything else. So that's a nice kill back here. It puts a dent in the gold advantage and keeps that Aatrox out of a side. And in fact, it's a Tristana now that's starting to threaten this side lane here. Doesn't have any grubs, but does have a massive pushing power here, even at level 14. It's going to force a big reaction. Hextech Soul means the Hex Gates also allow you to collapse on these side laning champions a lot better, as you can see here on the minimap as they rotate over. BDD knows he can't stay any longer than this, but any farm he can get feels good. Stop it, Peter.
Enough is enough.
This is a very serious playoff game with real stakes. Winner goes to upper bracket. That is not time to be silly.
Yeah. So we have some stats about Sundered Sky. At 24 minutes, 2,595 healing done. And, you know, keep in mind he didn't have the Sundered Sky for quite a while in this game.
Sub 3K? Seems fair, I guess.
Will they get... Yes, they already do have Executioners here for the Renekton.
Yeah. Stop that healing. They got the Chemtech Dragon as well.
They did.
Peter?
Okay, going all in on a clear. He has his flash, but he doesn't have much else. He is going to get jumped on once again by BDD as the Q2 is going to hit, but eventually he just goes down. It's now KT, very awkward spot, though.
Now the strategy is to spoon feed BDD with Aatrox. He enjoys it, but will it get out?
All right, well, Peter... Okay, he's going to try to run away from this one, but BNK are closing the distance very quickly. KT's just going to leave Peter to the fishes. And with TP available, 20 seconds, maybe they could try to start this Baron. We see a lot of go pings already, and here we go.
I think this is definitely a wise choice. Peter is down. I mean, he doesn't have his ult anyways here. Cuz, on the other hand, does have Magnet Storm, but Tristana TP's back in. This is a fairly risky call here from BNK, but they have the setup. You need to see Kellen, I think, positioned around that entry point. Vikla, though, he's the one on the flank.
Duckdom doesn't have flash. I think they want to punish this. You saw Vikla, as you mentioned. Maybe looking for that stun angle.
Target selection has to be good here from KT.
A lot of damage in on a clear. The turn on a BDD, though. They're not going to get any flashes out of this one as the Magnet Storm pulls in from Cuz, and he's doing quite a lot of damage in that back line. Not able to, finally they do get Diablo actually on the backside of this fight, and Raptor not able to do anything by himself. BDD cleans up, and KT clean up. They should be able to take this Baron. Even with these low health bars, they will go for it.
You don't kill BDD. You're probably not going to win that fight. Cuz has so much lifesteal. He's so tanky. He has a Zhonya's in his inventory. And with his Kingslayer, he's just like, thank you for the heals. Ends up living so long there, and BDD is ready to go back in with resets. So go back all the way to this play here, trying to get this Aatrox into BDD's checking account constantly. They do set him up for another kill here, but they use a lot to do so, and so BNK do collapse. Just checking, make sure nothing crazy is happening alive. Looks like the answer is no. Peter has to sacrifice himself here, but they say, okay, this is the go angle. This is the opportunity we have. But look at the setup here for KT. BDD, hard to collapse on. The root comes down instantly onto Aatrox. He loses half of his health bar. And Cuz can't quite get in. At the beginning of this, it looks like, okay, I guess maybe this is a win. But no, Cuz gets in, has Magnet Storm here, and by himself gets onto Diablo. And it's just so difficult to kill. Has Zhonya's, by the way. Knows it in his inventory here. Goes for the Rocket Belt into Magnet Storm engage. Look at how low he goes, by the way, by doing massive damage. And then goes Zhonya's. Look at BDD.
The amount of spamming I just saw, that was kind of scary.
Yeah. High APM. Okay. It's a stressful game.
All right.
You can understand the relief.
Is his keyboard okay, though? I don't know. Like, can we get a check-in? I'm not sure. I'm a little scared.
He's got a backup for sure. And both these teams have a backup because this is just game 3. It's not the match decider, but KT do finally swing the pendulum back to their side, off the Baron secure. They have Soul Point now as well. Hextech Soul, a lot of big tools for them after lurking.
Cuz got so much money from that last fight, it's actually insane. Level 16, up 3 levels on Raptor.
I would like one Rift Maker, please.
Yeah.
He farmed so hard. Look at how much
bought
farm
it.
he has over Raptor. He's had it the whole game. Like, he's just been way out farming this Skarner, and now he's starting to farm some kills as well. It's a massive Sylas. The Sylas pick coming up huge for KT. As did the Magnet Storm in that last fight. So the grubless Tristana, but a Tristana at level 16 nonetheless. With Baron, they just toss it and perfect.
Yeah, he's just getting CC'd down 100 to 0. He's just dead.
That's not great for KT.
I don't know how he got caught like that. He's Renekton with Flash. It must have just been like a vision play because he was standing in the brush and they just... I mean, we panned over and Vikla had Tibbers on him already.
If you look at the tools that KT have to collapse on a team trying to collapse onto a target like that, like if you get the re-engage, you have like Flash, Nico ult, it's all fine, but they weren't set up to do that. Like, look at where he is and look where Peter is. Like, if Peter and Cuz go in on this, I think it's almost winnable, but Perfect is just a bit too far away. I think that's why he was there, because he's like, oh, if they go on me, I press R, I press Q, Peter comes in. And
oh, the fake with the minion comes on in. Clear is dead again.
Clear having a bit of a rough one here in Game 3, is constantly the focus of Peter. Taken out again. And now KT, I mean, this Baron was pretty successful. Didn't open the base, but the gold lead has practically doubled to 4K. This gold graph is going to look very funny at the end of this game. And this Tristana is on 3 items. Hit level 16, and I'm trying to see the ways back in here for BNK. Sure, they got the pick onto Perfect when he overextended, but just press R together doesn't necessarily work when you don't have map control. So they're going to need to try to get some of that back right now. They are setting up for some vision here. IE now done for BDD though. So I take it back, he's a 4-item Tristana.
I mean, they're clearing out vision, but it's very early, 2 minutes ahead of time.
I just think they can't fight if they don't have vision, and if they can start a vision fight in the future when KT come up here and try to clear that, maybe that's their best bet. They kind of just have to stay grouped, and Clear just has to kind of sit in the side lane and TP in, probably on the flank, which requires wards. So BNK need to play the ward game here. They need to play it well if they are going to ever win that miracle team fight where the combos come through. Cuz is just so big. He has the biggest gold lead in the game. You can see him on the player cam right now. He is locked in. He's shaking.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit worried about whatever button he was pressing. Probably the Zhonya's in that fight. Hope it's doing okay. These keyboards can get a lot of mileage, though. And now, you know, it's a bit of a standoff in mid lane. This is what we're going to be looking for the next minute or so. A bit of a K-Ram. Nobody really wants to side lane in this one.
Kellen's the best engaged till he has flash and ult, right? But the split is too good.
Oh, Duck stands right in front of them. Is going to live, though. And now Diablo's got a big croc right on top of him. Nothing they can do to peel for him. Diablo goes down. Down goes Clear as well. And I think KT just has enough. Kellen going to be sniped. Double kill for BDD. And it should be enough here in this mid lane. The K-Ram doesn't last very long.
I mean, Duckdom is caught. He's in range of the flash engage from Kellen. But Kellen needs a multi-man engage. That one target isn't enough. That's the masterclass of this Tristana in the draft. You have so many other threats. They can't even kill Duckdom. It doesn't matter. The split is good for KT. After a rough start in Game 1, they win 2 back-to-back to now go up match point in the series. A red side victory as well, bringing them back to side selection advantage here for the rest of the series. KT looking good, Cuz on fire.